I can't tell you how pleased I am to welcome Dr. Dennis Shirley to the podium as he speaks to us about his vision and his views on diversity in assessment. Please help me welcome him.
Good evening, friends, and thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedules. People are out teaching kids all day today? That sound right? Dealing with those lovable, infuriating, challenging, amusing, wonderful creatures, right? The kids that we teach, whether you're a kindergarten teacher or upper elementary or middle school or high school, bless you for choosing this profession of education. Thank you so much for your dedication and your perseverance. And let us never, ever forgive George Bernard Shaw, who came out with the most despicable quote in the history of the human race in Man and Superman, which was, those who can do, those who can't teach. Right? How is it possible that a writer with such a sense of verve and creativity could come up with such a hideous legacy to the philosophy of education for the world? You know, this is a burden that we carry when we're kind of trying to figure out why is it the teachers aren't more appreciated in Calgary, or in Alberta, or in Canada, or in North America, or in the world. We've got cultural phenomena that are going on out there. It's kind of a deeply rooted anti-intellectualism sometimes. It leads us not to appreciate the people that are enculturating us, okay, that are passing on the miracle of language, centuries of struggle to learn about the scientific method so that we can help to control and cultivate the natural world, the wonderful labyrinthine realities of mathematics. I always love to tell this story. There was this theorem, this mathematical theorem called Fermat's theorem. Any mathematicians in the room who've ever heard of this? Fermat's theorem, right? Very famous. Right? And so the famous story is that a few years ago this was actually cracked. There's notes for this theorem were written in a book back in the 17th century, and Fermat died and nobody ever knew how to figure it out, right? How to solve this theorem. That doesn't interest me so much. What interests me so much is that there was a German mathematician who had it with this veil of tears called life, and he said, okay, I can't stand it another day, I'm going to have to commit suicide. And being very Germanic and compulsive, he said to himself, well, okay, I'm going to commit suicide at midnight. And so he gets, you know, the chair and the rope and everything's all rigged up. But because he was so compulsive, he had to wait until the right time, right? He doesn't know what to do. And so he says, oh yeah, Fermat's theorem. Well, I guess I'll work away on this for a while. So he kind of gets out some paper and some pencils, and he's kind of working away on it. And he's getting into it, and he works on it, he works on it, he works on it a little bit longer. And then finally, the sun comes in through the window. The sun comes in through the window. And then even though he was a mathematician, very scientific, he says, there's got to be some message in this. Right? Which is the beauty of the internal logic of whatever discipline it is. Right? Whether you're an English teacher who's trying to teach Shakespeare or Neil Hurston, whether you're a mathematician who's kind of trying to go back and figure out what Euclid was really up to, okay? Whether you're a science instructor who's really trying to figure out why was it that Darwin waited 20 years before publishing The Origin of the Species. What was he so afraid of with that? Whatever your discipline is, you are the people that pass on the collective wisdom of humanity to the kids. All kinds of kids. Right? The kids in the most diverse backgrounds, most diverse social strata. The kids whose parents somehow are neglectful. The kids whose parents spoil them. The kids whose parents take them on vacation to Switzerland every summer. The kids whose parents never take them on vacation. That's your job, because you form the public sphere for the future of Calgary and Alberta and Canada. We must never think of the public as a noun. It's a verb. It's something that has to be created, nourished, and sustained. Otherwise, we always just draw back into our own individual selves, right? We always withdraw from the public sphere. And that's not a learning society. That's a learning impoverished society.